Good morning. Alright, I'm coming to you early today because I was reading this morning and I knew if I didn't do this video, the day would get away from me and I would totally forget. So, if you're watching this, I'm Chrissy from Chrissy Holmes Fitness, and I just want to share a little bit of what I was reading from The Gifts of Imperfection. Okay, so she has guideposts, and today's was letting go of what people think. So this book is all about let go of who you think you're supposed to be and embrace who you are. And I know a lot of times that's hard for us to do. So hopefully I get all of what I tell you all of what I was thinking whenever I was reading this, because it's a library book and I can't highlight, and I usually highlight in all my books. So anyway, she starts out with a quote from Margaret Young. It says, often people attempt to live their lives backwards. They try to have more things or more money in order to do more of what they want to do, in order to do more of what they want so that they will be happier. The way it actually works is the reverse. You must first be who you really are, then do what you really need to do in order to have what you want. So I found this very interesting, this Cultivating Authenticity. She said authenticity is a collection of choices that we have to make every day. It's about the choice to show up and be real, the choice to be honest, the choice to let our true selves be seen. There's people who are consciously practicing being authentic, and there are people who don't. And there are some of us who are authentic on some days and not so authentic on other days. And I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Even though we want to be real with people, it's something we still have to work. We still have to work towards. If we don't, because there's self-doubt, and we can always tell ourselves we can be anybody you need. You can go into a crowd and decide that you're going to be somebody, or you're going to be what they need you to be, and that's not what we should do. And I know sometimes that's hard, and I really wish I could totally highlight in this book, but she comes up with definitions for some of the words that she uses in her books. And authenticity, this is her definition that she came up with using the courage, compassion, and connection. She said authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. Choosing authenticity means cultivating the courage to be imperfect, to set boundaries, and to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. It's also means exercising the compassion that comes from knowing that we are all made of strength and struggle, and nurturing the connection and sense of belonging that can only happen when we believe that we are enough. She said, the idea that we can choose authenticity makes most of us feel both hopeful and exhausted. We feel hopeful because being real is something we value. Most of us are drawn to warm, down-to-earth, honest people, and we aspire to be like that in our own lives. We feel exhausted because without even giving it too much thought, most of us know that choosing authenticity in a culture that dictates everything from how much we're supposed to weigh to what our houses are supposed to look like is a huge undertaking. I know for me personally, I'm drawn to people like that. I'm drawn to warm, down-to-earth, honest people, and that's what I want to be like. I don't know about you, who kind of person are you drawn to? Are you drawn to the same kind of person? The person that's, honest with you, that's real with you. I think a lot of us are drawn to those kind of people, and that's who we want to be. But it's so exhausting in a culture that, like she said, makes everything about how much you're supposed to weigh, what you're supposed to look like, what kind of car you're supposed to drive, what kind of house you're supposed to have, how big your house is supposed to be, and all this kind of stuff. And that's culture, and it's really hard because it's so much more in our face now with social media. You can get on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and you can see all the highlight reels of what everybody's life is like. You can see the new car they got, you can see their house, you can see how well behaved their children are, and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's very important for us to show real authenticity, to show our real lives a little bit. You don't have to, share all the bad stuff that happens. You don't want to be like, being down all the time. But, there's stuff that happens in everybody's life, and it's real life. And I think it's great to share some of that because other people connect with you and then know, I'm not alone in this. It's so important. I myself am an introvert. I could stay home most of the time. I wouldn't have to, I could stay home with a good book and I would be good. But I still crave that connection with people. And it's usually whenever I get, I go meet a friend or I go to church and I'm, in a woman's group or whatever it may be. Hey, Stacy. I enjoy that connection, and I think we're built for, that connection, even though some of us like me are introverts. So, let's see, I wish I could highlight in this book. Oh, and she also says that sometimes when we choose to be our true selves, when we choose to be true to ourselves, the people around us will struggle to make sense of how and why we are changing, because maybe we haven't been true to ourselves. And when we do that, then the people are like, whoa, what are you doing, but it's important to be real. Let's see. She said that whenever we are doing this, when we don't want our authenticity to be perceived as selfish or narcissistic, then we start, she said, when I first started mindful practicing authenticity, I'm having trouble with that word today, and worthiness, I felt like every day was a walk through a gauntlet of gremlins. Their voices can be loud and unrelenting. What if I think I'm enough, but others don't? What if I let my imperfect self be seen and known, and nobody likes what they see? What if my friends, family, co-workers like the perfect me better? The one who takes care of everything and everyone. So sometimes when we push the system, it pushes back. The pushback can be everything from eye rolls and whispers to relationship struggles and feelings of isolation. There can also be cruel and shaming responses to our authentic voices. So she said, here's how. She does a lot of research, and she said, here's how some of the participants describe the struggle to be authentic. Don't make people feel uncomfortable, but be honest. Don't upset anyone or hurt anyone's feelings, but say what's on your mind. Sound informed and educated, but not like a know-it-all. Don't say anything unpopular or controversial, but have the courage to disagree with the crowd. I just found some of this interesting. So she says that as we struggle to be authentic and brave, it's important to remember that cruelty always hurts, even if the criticisms are untrue. When we go against the grain and put ourselves and our work out in the world, some people will feel threatened, and they will go after what hurts the most: our appearance, our lovability, and even our parenting. And I've seen this. I'm sure we all have seen this on, social media and just, blogs and all kinds of stuff like that. She says, so when she's faced with vulnerable situations, she likes to get deliberate with her intentions, and she repeats this to herself. Don't shrink. Don't puff up. Stand on your sacred ground. So what she does, because her first response, her shame response when people make her feel bad or come at her, is to come back at them. So she says this little mantra to help her remember not to get small so other people are comfortable, and not to throw up her armor as a way to protect herself. Her friend of hers says that you have to be brave with your life so that others can be brave with theirs. And I think that's true. I think if you share struggles that you have and you're open and you're honest, there are other people out there that have that same struggle, and then that helps them, because then they know that, they can make it through it too. So she was talking about digging deep. So her dig deep is what I just mentioned. Her mantra that she goes through is to get deliberate, get inspired, and get going. So how do you dig deep? What do you do when people come against you and it causes that trigger that says that I'm not good enough? How do you deal with that? So I thought I'm really liking this book, and I think it's great to be authentic with people and to be real. So that was the very first one, letting go of what people think. The next one is letting go of perfectionism. So we'll see how that goes. So I hope you all have a great Thursday and enjoy your day. I'm going to go get my workout done because I am behind this morning. I got to get the kids up soon. So I hope you all have a great day, and I'll be talking to you soon.